So talking about lack of attacking talent in the market, I think it's very important for us to talk about the striker struggles we have had over the years. And this has been a problem facing us since the days of, towards the end of Sir Alex Ferguson's career when he revived that a little bit and, bought Robin Van Persie in to partner Rooney. And, at that point in time, we used to have like three, four world-class attacking talents. The entire 2006, 7, 8 time when we had Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo at that point in time, and then Ronaldo went, Tevez went, so Rooney was a little left alone on his own. Then Sir Alex brought in Robin van Persie to revive that attacking impetus that we had. But since then, we have been on a bit of a downhill. The 12-13 season, Robin van Persie came in, scores 30 goals, wins us our 20th league. And after that, Sir Alex goes. He has a bit of an injury trouble, and you can see what has been our sort of striking record, so to say. Our best striker on the respective years have scored like 19 goals, 14 goals, 17 goals. So yeah, there has been a real decline in couple of seasons. Okay, we have had a bit of a spike where Ibrahimovic comes in and does well, Rashford shines in one season, but largely it has been downhill from there. What do you think of that?
I think we've always missed a combination of strikers, a experienced one and an apprentice.
Yeah,
I think we have had either of those. We have more often than not gone for the older proven striker in Cavani,
yeah,
Falcao, in Igalo, in Ibrahimovic, and eventually then when Ineos come in, we've been talking about getting younger players, but
one for
for
the
that
future.
matter,
Yeah,
but for that matter, when Hojlund was getting signed, Harry Kane was an option, and Harry Kane would have been the perfect option. But again, the right answer was never Harry Kane or Hojlund. The right answer, in my opinion, would have been Harry Kane and Hojlund, wherein we
yeah,
have the future as well as the present sorted. As of now, we have Hojlund and Zirkzee, both of whom are struggling. I mean, 5 and 3 goal involvements throughout the league this season. It's not. It paints a very grim picture,
yeah,
and I don't think the lack of goals is just on them. I also feel it is also on the chance creation.
yeah,
Where do you, in your opinion, does a chance creation in our team happens? If we talk about Amorim's system,
yeah,
we are expecting to create chances from the wings,
yeah,
from the wing backs. We don't have wing backs, natural wing backs on their positions.
yeah.
One, lack of depth in the squad. Through midfield. In our midfield, we only have enforcers. Other than Bruno, I don't see any player who creates consistently. Maybe Ahmad, but again, we are stretching Ahmad. I feel again this is a classic case of stretching a young player too thin. Maybe expecting him to do a job on the
No,
wing
that's
back,
what happened
expecting him
with
to do a
Menu
job like
last year
number
as
10.
well, right? You were playing
Yeah.
Menu minute every minute in, and this year he has been struggling after the 60th minute in probably every game. So I think with young players you have to be a little more careful. I mean, I'm not uh, most fond of Pep Guardiola's style, especially because he has been managing clubs who I don't like that much, Barcelona, Manchester City, etc. But the how he handled the integration of Foden, for example. I mean, a lot of us, especially who would be looking at him from an FPL standpoint, would get frustrated as to say this guy's doing so well. Why don't you play him more often? But I think he also realizes that you have to look at the physicality of the player, how well physically developed they are, to be able to do that, and you can't do that with everybody. So yeah, I think that challenge is there. We don't have any creative players in our squad, so to say. And that has been a challenge for the long, long time. I mean, which is why we got really happy back in the day when Paul Pogba happened from Juventus. We were like, okay, now it's the time when Pogba is going to drive this entire team forward. And when Pogba and Bruno became a thing, we were like, okay. And remember, start of that season, uh,
Yep.
we were scoring like 4 goals every game almost. So you're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is going to be the season where we finally do it, this and that. But yeah, they were all probably, the short, small wins for a short period of time. But in the longer run, we haven't really had that either the squad or a world-class striker to give us those goals.
Yeah, we have to have a look at the transfer strategy because to supplement the goals of say in the recent history, Rashford has had that 30 goaler season, but
Yeah,
to replicate that, to get in more goals, we need wingers or attacking midfielders.
yeah,
The last two big signings we have made have been Anthony and Sancho in that area, and third maybe Mount in that area.
yeah.
All three for different reasons.
Haven't
Sancho,
worked out. Yeah,
yeah, mental health issues initially. He was given a break by Erik ten Hag, but because of his stupidity, was not integrated back into the team.
yeah,
Ended up going to Chelsea. Anthony brought in for about 80, 90 million. I think fidget spinner is known as. Other than that, there is nothing of contribution from Anthony which has been done, which is a sad thing because he had a decent start at United.
yeah,
We In the first couple of games he scored. We
yeah,
thought we have a winger on our hands, but yeah, his form fell flat very soon. He was found out very soon. I mean, he turned out to be a one-trick pony.
yeah,
And obviously, the 18 months of Mason Mount have been well documented. How difficult it has been for him. And even though we know there's a player in him, we haven't seen that player in United. So we are talking about a layout of about 250, 300 odd million,
yeah,
which could have been used for say, a striker or a attacking midfielder, but went into positions where the problem was not solved. So
yeah,
that is the gap which we need to fill, and that is a gap which we are looking to fill in this market and the summer transfer
yeah.
market.
This market, realistically, I don't know what happens. But if I were to give you a magic wand and say that, okay, you can get one striker in this team who is actively playing elsewhere, who would that be?
Harry Kane,
Still, 3 years, 2.5 years
he's,
down the
he's,
line.
he's still killing records. He will be motivated enough to break Shearer's record. Of course, there's a
I think he
Haaland
has
in
a
place
Premier League
now.
stint in him. He definitely has
Yeah,
a Premier League stint in him. But I don't know. Coming Harry Going for Harry Kane may not work out. I just have a feeling it might not work out. Obviously, he's great.
he'll be the perfect teacher for Hojlund and
Yeah,
Zirkzee. He drops back. He himself is like a 9.5, 10 sort of player, isn't
yeah,
he? He
correct.
creates chances for the wingers as well. We
There
saw his
was that one
combination play
season,
with
I don't know whether it
Sun.
was under Conte or Mourinho, where he was pretty much playing in the midfield as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
he had a lot of assists that season as well, in addition to the goals. So,
I
yeah,
I see I see so many Rooney-like qualities
yeah,
in Kane,
exactly.
and Rooney was everywhere on the pitch, and I think Kane is also that type of player who loves having
Yeah,
ball at his feet, and obviously he gets off on goals,
yeah,
but yeah, he also enjoys the creation process as well. He
correct.
enjoys assist, maybe
Yeah.
not as much as goal, but very close to it as well.
Yeah, but for me, if I have to look at maybe the right age profile as well, Premier League proven pedigree as well, I think I would want to go for Alexander Isak. I know Newcastle have been doing fairly okay, at least much better than us in the Premier League table this year, and there is strong, I think, rumors about
I've seen
Arsenal
rumors.
going for him, at least in the summer window. I don't know if and when that happens. But if I had a magic wand, I would want Alexander Isak in our team. I think he would perfectly fit the bill of a mobile, agile, modern day striker who will work well with the wingers. He would swap at positions at times with the number 10s as well. So he could work out really well, but yeah, all of those are dreams. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
I mean, this is the trick which United have been missing, haven't they? I mean, Ole was very clear about this. We talked about this that Haaland was available for us for
Yeah,
20 million before he had even set foot in Borussia Dortmund.
correct.
We missed signing Haaland on two occasions. Once he was moving from
Molde. Yeah.
Leipzig to Dortmund, and when he was moving from Dortmund to City. Both the
Ah,
times
yeah, yeah.
they were
Dortmund to
plausible
City, I don't
release
think we had
clauses.
a realistic chance because when City come calling, who have been winning the league, I think it would have been difficult. But initially, when molded
Yeah, maybe
to
from Molde, Leipzig.
Leipzig, he was moving to, and then obviously when he was moving to Dortmund, I think both those times we had a chance. And but yeah, we chose not to go for it. But again, I think this is a balance you need to arrive at, yeah, because Haaland at that point in time, especially when he was at Molde, would have been a player like a profile of Hojlund today, or maybe 2 years earlier when he was signed for us. So Haaland obviously turned out to what he has turned out to be. Does Hojlund have that potential? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. He's playing in a relatively bad team, so he's not able to prove much. But then on the other hand, is going for a really experienced player like a Cavani, who maybe also doesn't work out. So then you are left without any potential signing fees to recover from there, etc. So I think you also need to find that right balance. A player of 2 years back, Ivan Tony, or now Alexander Isak, or I
Mhm.
don't know who else in the Premier League is doing relatively okay. I think Solanke was doing relatively better last year for Bournemouth, and Spurs went for him. So I think a player of that profile also may not be a bad idea to go for.
Liam Delap has been doing pretty well, and
Yeah,
he's a good profile of player. But the point is, we are still seeing the effects of our transfer strategy since the last 5, 6 years, and this will take some time to correct, and this will uh, lead to the storm which Amorim has been talking about. We will be seeing a lot of losses. There will be pain along the way, but yeah, I mean, 3 to 4 windows down the line, we might see what Amorim's best team will play as.
yeah. Talking about Amorim's best team and strikers, do you take Gyökeres next year for 120 million, let's say, in the summer window?
I don't know if we have the if we fit the PSR rules well, because I feel United,
Okay, let,
what
let
I've
me
been hearing
reframe
is
that. I don't know. We can't really talk about value, but let's say if we had like one major signing in us in the summer window, and that would
mm,
take up 75-80% of our budget, whatever it may be, and that is Gyökeres, would you take him?
mm, I mean, yeah, striker is a position wherein we do need reinforcement. Yes, we do need good number 10s as well, but I think striker would take precedence for me. So yeah,
Yeah,
maybe the big signing would be. But see, we've heard Ratcliffe talk about this, correct? He has mentioned that we won't be going for established players. We want to create a Mbappe and not buy a Mbappe. I think 100 million player plus are a thing of past now. I
but Mbappe
don't
was also
see.
created at AS Monaco. Look at AS Monaco are today. You don't want to be that club where one
Hmm, hmm.
season you do well and otherwise you're like a feeder club. You don't want to be that club either. So I don't know. I don't buy that strategy also so much. Top clubs need to reinforce with world class talent.
Hmm,
So
hmm, hmm.
we can't have that feeder club, so to say, mentality that we will recruit world class talent and then get and build them in our club. So I don't. Even Barcelona needed for all the La Masia that they have, they needed a lever to come in and be their front man. So I am not too sure about it. And the other thing that I wanted to say was my hot take on Gyökeres is he probably doesn't do well in the Premier League. We have seen these players who have come from different leagues. They either take a lot of time to settle in. He has played for English clubs before. I don't remember
Coventry,
which one was it.
Coventry, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he didn't do that well back then. And I'm sure he has developed a lot since, and he understands Amorim's system and this and that. But Premier League is also a different ballgame from Portuguese league. The physicality, everything is difficult. So my hot take is even if we were to sign him, I wouldn't think he would do that well.
You know what my hot take is on our striker position?
Yeah,
I think this might be the right time to get a young Giro Martin some minutes in there. This is how we brought
I
in
agree. I agree.
Rashford.
I agree.
This is how we brought in Rashford. Everyone was injured. We
Yeah,
didn't have enough reinforcements at that point of time.
I
I
wouldn't be
think
surprised if he gets some minutes by the end of the season.
Yeah, that will be brilliant to see because he's been tearing it up in the, under 21, under 23 leagues. He's already playing one level above his actual age.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
think
I
he's what
mean,
18
that
and
will be
he's
nice.
constantly playing in under 21s is what I last
That's
saw.
correct.
But I
That's
think
correct.
there also they tried stepping him up to under 23s. To be very honest, I don't understand the number of games you have at under 21 and 23 so much. So
Hmm.
under 23, I don't think they have a lot of games. So I think he keeps switching between that. But yeah, it would be lovely to see him get some minutes.
Yeah, we have got good attacking talents in our academy as of now. There are two,
Oh,
three other
on
players
that note,
also
I
which
think
we need to look
Wheatley
at.
has just been loaned off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably get some good minutes and comes back next year a better rounded player.
That's a hope. That's a hope. Like we need to fulfill these goals that Rashford scored 3 seasons back, which we
Yeah,
haven't scored since then. And let's hope we can find a quick fix for this.
absolutely.